Today I'm going to talk through the Draftkings and Fanduel slates for Championship Saturday. So we have 6 games, so make sure the contest has 6 games. So let's see, we'll do 20 lineups. Let's do 2 uniques. One thing we can do, I say this a lot, but you can make the fantasy point range to 6, and then it like shrinks half the player pool, so which is important if you're manually doing it. So Scatterboo right here, most expensive, and play the slate. So I'll make everyone like a 50% max, but I'll probably make him I don't know, probably make him like 70 or 80%. Just because I have a lot of confidence in him, and we'll see what we get here. And what rules need to be adjusted. So we have a couple of cheap running backs, Mosey and Bill Davis. So you're going to get a lot of 3 running back lineups. As you're seeing 90% here, running back and flex. That's fine. And then like somebody like Antonio Williams can pop off, so I don't mind him in the flex either. We're getting a lot of Williams I'm fine with. They're kind of young at receiver, Clemson. So Wesco and Moore are these nice true freshmen. So seeing these 3 receivers here, I definitely want a good amount of Klubnik. So and Moore's really cheap. That's a nice price right there. So for quarterback, I think Jennings and Braxton are going to be pretty popular. Navarro's someone I like too. And then let's do a game stack for this. There's a couple game stacks I like. Let's see. So one game stack is that if I'm having backed, then I want no less than one of his receivers. Because it's definitely a throwing offense. Iowa State's been kind of struggling on the ground this year. And then I'll probably take a receiver on the other team, and then Levitt too. So I'm gonna have to boost up back, and because if I run this again, I'm not gonna get any. Klubnik, I'd probably stack 2 just because it's gonna happen organically because the receivers are popping. So let's see if we got any backed. So the rules were made it restrictive. One second. All right, so because of the rules, they're like, we don't want any backed. We're gonna have to boost him up, which I'm fine with. So let's see what else we got. Running back's pretty good. I don't know how much Perry I want. Wisner and James I like a lot, so I might boost Perry down and see what that does. I think I'll also I'm fine going heavier here with these guys. So, um, and then the receiver exposure is fine. Let's look at the Arizona State guys. So the big news of the slate is that Guillory and Mateer are going to play a huge role because Tyson is out. So I want more of them than what I'm getting. What others? See, when you reduce the minimum projection, you get a lot of receivers too. I want more Owen than the field. And then Ferguson's kind of interesting too as a cheap play. He's there's a lot of good value at receiver, so um yeah, you can definitely mix and match with the number of receivers like it's doing. So let's see now what we get with Becht. So even that we only get, we're gonna really have to boost him up to make these stack rules happen and boost up Levitt too. Um Levitt can do damage with his legs, so I definitely want some. Fields is kind of out of play for me. I want these four are the great starting point. Then I want this game stack. So let's see. Let's run it again and see what happens. Okay, so it kind of supercharged it, but there's a lot of value. And I didn't even include Scatterboo in the stack roll because he's just, stack or not, I want a lot of him, like the field will. So because I boosted Levitt, then the stack's like, okay, we get it. And we're getting a lot of the stack put in. But if I do like 25 and 19, I think I'll get let's see what we get. The DS is moving like good today. So Klubnik I'll probably boost up too. So because I want him in like that top 5 range. Singleton's really interesting to me. So this is the grouping of running backs I want a lot of. The top 3 guy, it might get pretty chalky with this top 3, so which is fine. And then receiver, I think you can mix and match and get different. Okay, so good. All right, this is like 6 reasonable plays at quarterback. We have 3 Levitt back lineups. We have some Klubnik with all the value. You can make it. I'll make a stack rule, but it's probably going to be pretty baked in. So yeah, Legender's pretty cheap. I have no problem with him. So we're getting a lot of Clemson. Fine. Virgil's been awesome. And then a guy I want to be overweight on is McDonald. So I probably have to middle this so we get an equal amount. And then let's see how it is. Okay, so I'm going to have to boost up McDonald even more. I'm going to have to boost up Guillory. I'll have to boost Mateer. I fine with the 20%. So, yeah, receivers really interesting today. Running back straightforward, and I think quarterback is pretty straightforward too. So let's move over to Fanduel. It's nice today with just the 6 games. If you want to play the like smaller slates, it's all in there because it's only the 6 games. So let's see what we get. One thing I noticed on FanDuel is the Georgia guys are really cheap. So I'll probably try to get the Georgia exposure on here. Running back's completely different because Davis is 8K and Mosey is 7.6, so they're not popping. So I messed around with Frazier. I don't know if I'm gonna give him that much, but he could be interesting at just 6,400. So that's someone I'm probably gonna be overweight on. Again, we like the Clemson guys. Yeah, receivers just gonna be a little crazy. So let's do like a 50% max, except for Scattaboo. Yeah, running backs, pretty interesting. Wisner, I like a lot. That's a pretty fair price. And then running back or receiver, I mean, will give us a good mix, I think. So, and then we'll probably have to do the same thing where we force in if we want the Arizona State, Iowa State stack. I'm not here on Ewers personally, so I'm gonna boost him down, and then we'll do our like stack boost thing to get in. Let's get in backed. And then I'll have to boost Levitt like let's see what this does. So yeah, the tight ends are really interesting. Mateer and Helm. I like them a lot on FanDuel. Mateer's super cheap. Wesco's super cheap. So it's definitely spend up at quarterback and spend down at so I overdid it a little. All right, let's see where we're at. So a lot of backed, but it took away. We didn't do the quarterback rule, so that's what happened there. And then if I run it again, we'll get Levitt back. Okay. Yeah, so just gonna have to keep tinkering, but this is a good mix of quarterbacks, running backs. I like what we're getting here. A lot of Wisner, a lot of James, a lot of Frazier. These four are like the guys I want to build around. And then at receiver, it's kind of the same grouping of players, but and a lot of tight end too. So I'll probably boost up Guillory too over here. But this is pretty much where I'm at today. Enjoy the slate and have a great Saturday, everyone.